What is up, everybody? Welcome to the official notification launch party for the Shin Kickstarter that is going to be going live on August 15th, 2022. This is going to be a really outstanding campaign. This is my first return to Kickstarter since my previous campaign in 2018. Which was successful, which is great. For we went to Kickstarter last time for Shin Hunter and Destroyer 1, and this time we're going to Kickstarter for Shin Hunter and Destroyer 2, but also for an exclusive celebratory reprint and re-release of Warrior and Defender #1. I shouldn't say the word reprint because this book is totally different and it is revamped, ready to go for you guys. So this is going to be a really amazing, incredible campaign. And we're here today to kind of just start gauging some interest. And here's the deal. I really would like for folks to sign up for the notification for the campaign. So I'm going to give you guys the link right now and reveal the page. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? So here is the link for the notification for the Kickstarter. You guys just got to click on that link that I just dropped over here, no matter where you're watching this, and just click to be notified. If we can hit 20 people by the end of this broadcast, which would be really, really awesome. That would be sensational. If we can hit 20 notifications, I will reveal one of the very first incentive covers that we have exclusively available for this campaign. And Shin Hunter and Destroyer 2 has been a long time in the making. It's taken us about 3 years to make this book and finally get it out there. Now, of course, there were some complications that arose that kind of caused this to be the case, but a lot of unforeseen stuff, obviously, as a result of COVID and other things that kind of just held stuff up. But the book is finally done. It took a lot to get to that point. And I'm really excited about it. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. And for those of you guys who have been waiting for more Shin, the time has finally come. And we're going to be moving forward with Hunter and Destroyer 3 and 4 very, very shortly, just as soon as we get this campaign taken care of. And here's the best part about this campaign is that for the first time ever, we're going to be making sure that you guys, when we hit that launch button, that the book is all done. So you guys are going to get your comics just as soon as this campaign is done. We want our fulfillment to be very fast. I want all of you guys to get your stuff. So be sure to click on the link in the comments if you're tuning in right now to be notified. And I'm going to just air the Shin Hunter and Destroyer 2 trailer for you guys so you guys can check that out. And I'll be here to talk with you guys and show you some stuff. So hang out and check this out.
어떤 아버지도 그의 아들보다 오래 살 소이다. 나의 맹렬한 조국에 살해당했다. 살해당했다. 사무라이가 내 나라를 점령하겠다. 그들은 내 집을 보고했다. 그리고 이제 그들은 죽을 것이다. 나의 눈 알복수들 할 것이다. 나의 눈 그들의 피로 상과 강을 도로뱉을 것이다. 살고자 하면 죽을 것이요 죽고자 하면 살 것이니.
So I saw in the comments that some of you guys are not getting the links to everything. So I'm gonna show it here, and I'm also gonna share the screen too. Jordan, what's up, man? Good to see you. I got your books ready to go, man. I really want to get you your stuff. Tomorrow morning is when I'll take care of all shipping. And what I do is whenever I take care of fulfillment for any of my live sales shows or anything like that, as soon as I have a label generated, I will take a picture of it so that you can track your package and know it's coming out there. Miss Etman, Mrs. Etman, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Adam, what's up, man? So yeah, Jordan, I got your stuff ready to go for you tomorrow. So I'm going to share my screen right now so you guys can see the page for it. So it's right here, and all I need you guys to do is hit that notify me on launch button. And I am at C2E2 Peter. I'm all set up over there. C2E2 is my local home show, so I'm actually able to get back to my place of residence and, you know, just kind of hang out there while I get ready for the show, which is kind of exciting. I got to be honest, I'm kind of like exhausted because I just had to like lug all my stuff over to the convention center. And I don't know if you guys tuned into my AMA yesterday, but C2E2 is usually one of my more difficult shows. It's a challenging show, and so it's imperative for me that it turns out favorably for me. So I'm putting a lot of energy into it, and as you can imagine, I'm lacking a lot of sleep, and but I would not rather be doing anything else. I wouldn't do anything else. I love what I'm doing. Mike, how you doing, man? Much happiness to you. Busy with family, but thought you'd check this out. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Mike Bankston just had a successful Kickstarter campaign for a comic book that he put out, which is called oh my gosh, the name of your book, Mike, is slipping my brain right now because I have like major dad brain and all kinds of stuff going on. That's love and passion when you can't remember your friends' books. Yeah, Mike, just feel free to drop the link to your book. And I'm so sorry. The title of it is slipping. I'd rather be honest and just say I forgot. It's totally my fault. Than to try and botch the title of your book, because people botch my book all the time. They call it Ipun Shin or Dong Ji. You know, like that happens all the time. I'm not kidding, and it's just something I've learned to live with. But honestly, that's the funny thing. David Anthony Kraft, my co-creator on Yisun Shin, who tragically passed away during COVID. He was always like, you know, he was always puzzled by the fact that people couldn't pronounce Yisun Shin, or that they would forget, because it's like, you know, you look at Star Wars and some of the names in Star Wars are just so out there, like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano, you know, like there's just so many different names out there. And so, you know, we tried to break up Yisun Shin so that it would be easy for people to pronounce, and people still botch it. And people botch my name too, so I'm so used to it because I have such a peculiar name, like Henri. So I get called Orny and Omri and Orchi and Ori and all kinds of stuff. It's just something I'm accustomed to. So I'm going to check the notifications button. Let's see how we're doing here. And let's see how many people have been notified thus far. Hang on. I'm going to see here. I'm going to have to stop the screen sharing for just a minute, and you guys are going to see me. Yeah, I got to punch it. When something's going wrong, you must whip it. Whip it good. All right, let's see. Let's go back to promotion. Let's see how we are. So Kickstarter is not going to tell me. Okay, so we got 3 people who have been notified so far. So 3 people. We still need 17 people. So if you know some people who think that we got David Moore in the house. Oh, sorry, guys. This is what has to happen right now. We got David Moore in the house. David Moore! You guys aren't watching Kicking It with Honorary, but that's what's going to happen the second that I hit that launch button. In fact, I think I need to make a special video that I'll reveal next week that'll show what'll actually happen in my head at the moment I hit that launch button. There's going to be a lot of crying. There's going to be a lot of me curling in a corner, crawling and crying. All right, so I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. This is not the screen I want to share. I hate when that happens. Thank you very much, Jordan, for doing that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you guys do need a launch video. And I actually still got to work on my launch video. Like, there's still so much stuff that's going into this campaign that I have to, like, get ready for. And there's a lot going on right now. It's a lot of it is really has been in the works for a very long time and stuff that I've been kind of working towards. And it's really unfortunate because I really wanted to do this alongside my co-writer on this, David Anthony Kraft. And he really wanted to be a part of this. And I want to say that he still is spiritually. I don't know if you guys are believers in, what may come after we leave this world. But, Dak taught me everything I know about comics production. And, the fact that he's not here anymore physically, that really took a toll on me. And there was a period where I just wasn't sure I could really move forward with Hunter Destroyer 2, given what was going on. And I wouldn't say that I came close to like giving up or anything like that. It was just one of those things where, you know how you get like a list of things that you need to do, and then there's just that one thing that you're like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it, and once I'm in the right mindset, I'll do it. And it took a long time, because I think what I was really kind of experiencing when I first came to grips with his passing was the fact that this was a man who said he was going to live forever, and unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way. He died rather young, in my opinion. He was only 69. He wasn't even 69. He was going to be 69 within like a week or two. So he was really close to, he wasn't even in his 70s, and he planned to live forever, so it really took a toll on me, the fact that he passed so suddenly, because to me, he was always this indomitable force that that no one would be able to move. I didn't think, even when COVID started, we were both like very skeptical of it at first. Particularly him. He was not he was also very anti-vax too, might I add. He just didn't. It was still very early when it came out, and he could have gotten vaccinated, but he chose not to because he was living up in the mountains, and he didn't really interact much with people, and it was just an unfortunate occurrence that that he passed away. And I sometimes think about the fact that if he had gotten vaccinated, would he be alive? There's of course no guarantee that would be the case, because there were other underlying issues that contributed to his passing. And as time went on, it got to the point where I realized that he just wasn't coming back. There was a part of me that was still hanging on to the idea that, like, maybe there's some way I can revive him, or some way, like, this just didn't feel real, and I know it's ludicrous to think that like we could revive someone who's dead, but the memory of them not vanishing. And that was something that I did not, I wasn't even conscious of the fact that I was doing it. It was just something that was just coming out naturally. This is my way of mourning my mentor and my friend, because we had worked so closely together on this series for so long. I mean, like, a lot of you guys don't know this about me, but I used to work in the finance industry, and I wasn't doing financial things though. I wasn't that smart, but I was in that field, and it's a very cutthroat environment. And if you're not making money for the company, then you're essentially useless. That's just how it is. It's very cut and dry. You know, if you're not saving the money, the company money, or you're not making the money, the company money, then you're useless. It's essentially what it is. If you're not saving the company money or making the company money, you're useless. So I was in the saving company department, and you know, it was not a really honorable position either. You know, it's like it's the high earners that get the attention. So it really affected my confidence for a long time, you know, and especially with going into a field like comics, which is for the most part looked down upon. You know, that's just how it is. I mean, now things have changed, but certainly not, you know, 20 years ago when I was in my 20s. You know, a young, spry young lad going out into the world to change his world. You know, and when I started working in this field, which was, you know, I got the job thanks to family. It was really hard for me. It was really hard for me to adjust because I just saw what that version of reality was, and I was in this world for a very long time. And you know, being creative, having these kinds of things was always considered a hobby. It wasn't ever considered something that you can make a full-time job out of. And it was always just what I wanted to do. And where Copen and Associates LLC now. Hang 'em dry. That's our company motto. You know, and I will get to a point with my diatribe here. This is all related to DAC, but when I was in this field, it was it felt really demeaning, and it had an effect on my life in all kinds of ways, and it made me feel like I didn't really belong anywhere. And then I started to actively network in comics and try and get in, and I started making my own comics, and I saw that it's a really hard field to break into and have a career, and you have to have connections, you have to be in New York, you have to be doing all these kinds of different things. But I didn't really look into that because I had this job that was paying me really well. Nowhere else in the world could I go and work and make such good money doing the kind of stuff that I was doing. And it was just the reality of the situation. And so I missed a lot of opportunities. It's something that I've kind of had to come to terms with, but at the same time, it brought me to where I was now. So eventually 2008 comes along, and at this point I had made a commitment. I made my comics pursuit a side hustle, and you know, I was doing the 9 to 5 and then doing research and writing at night. And eventually I went to Korea. And in 2008, we got hit with you know, the whole real estate burst, or the balloon burst, real estate, and the recession hit. Kinds of stuff was happening in our country, and it was a really, really bad time for anybody to be doing anything really. But this was the moment that I decided to start production on Shin. And I got it funded because I had a good paying job that was secure, and I was able to bootstrap it. And I got that first book done in the middle of a recession. And it was after that point that I started to realize, like, I put so much of my own resources into this book, so much of my own time as well, that I had something that I was really, really proud of. Basically, once I got to this point, I realized I needed an editor. I needed somebody who could really watch my back, because I had submitted Shin 2 to different publishers. I was hoping like I could get it in at Dark Horse. Dark Horse would have been amazing. And eventually I did have a conversation with Mike Richardson, the founder of Dark Horse. He was interested in publishing Shin. He ultimately withdrew from it because I think he was concerned about whether or not he could be the right vessel for selling it, and that's, you know, or for publishing it. And that's an understandable concern for any publisher, really. But it was tough, you know. And so when I brought David Anthony Kraft onto the series as my editor, he sort of like was able, he came in and he was able to look at the problems that the book had, and together we worked through them. And he brought his extensive knowledge of working over at Marvel and DC and having just this really prolific career in entertainment to help improve the actual process, and to help me really take this series to the level where I really wanted it to be. And he always believed in me, whereas when I went into this job on Wall Street, it was like, did you do this today? Did you did you take care of all the things that we've given you? Did you file all those invoices? Did you move that computer? Did you, do this thing? And it was just, there was no out. It was almost like I was in prison when I went into work. That's literally, I was shackled to my job, and it was miserable. I hated going to work every day. I woke up and I dreaded having to do everything that I had to do. But I still forced myself to do it. In fact, I woke up every morning at 5 a.m. and I'd work out, and then I'd go shower and go to work. It was just what it was. But I survived it. I came out and I got extremely lucky. I'm an extraordinarily lucky person, because it took me a long time to figure out how to build Eastern Shin, and it wouldn't be where it is right now without Dak, because what he brought to the series was not just talent, but guidance. He really helped me navigate through this world of comics that I was essentially kind of shunned from, because no publisher wanted to touch me. No one wanted to really give me the time of day. So, I hired him to really guide me and to help me understand not just my series, but this business as a whole, and we got there. And it took a long time. I'll tell you guys, I'm very fortunate to be able to make Eastern Shin a full-time job for myself, because, and it's thanks to conventions, and it's thanks to you guys. I found my pocket, my niche, and I've been able to, build on that. And now going to Kickstarter is going to be the next pivotal step for me as a creator. And I'm not ignoring your comments. I'm just kind of trying to get through my diatribe. Mel, I'm sorry about that. So what covers can I reveal right now? Well, I would love to reveal ONWARD's cover, but I don't have it in front of me. She is resending me the file. So as soon as I get the file, I'll show everyone the ONWARD cover, which is absolutely ridiculous. But the cover I am going to reveal tonight is our first. Well, I'm not going to tell you guys. We just got to hit. Let's check and see where we're at with the notifications. I'm going to refresh right now. So we got 8 people. So we're 12 people away. We're getting close. We got 12 people left, and then I will reveal this cover. So, and it's going to be sick. I'm telling you guys, this is the sexiest cover you guys will ever see. Amazing. It cost Audrey lots of money. Audrey almost had to go back to Wall Street and say hi to me so I could get this cover taken care of. And they're like, you make comics? I'm just kidding. Wall Street! What a tease. Well, hey, if she sends me the link, here's what I can do, Mel. If you can get ONWARD to send me the link right now, I can download it, and then I can share it on the screen. And I will totally share the ONWARD cover. So there you guys go. So for those of you who don't know ONWARD, she is an incredible, amazing artist. She is so awesome. And if you've been shopping with me, you guys may have seen some of her artwork. She has done a couple variant covers so far. And I have recently commissioned her to do a stretch goal piece for Warlion that is going to be written by our series editor, Chuck Pino. So this pamphlet is going to tell you the origin of Warlion. And it's kind of going to be like a martial arts handbook kind of a thing, like one of those pamphlets you get. So she's going to do all the illustrations and colors and everything for that. And that's one of our stretch goals, like I mentioned, for Warline, which is going to just be absolutely, that book is going to be insane. And I can't wait to start promoting that too. I'm coming close to it. So David Moore is saying, I went 4 years working a job I didn't love. It dragged me down. I took a year of bouncing around before I went back to school to get my master's. That's when I started working in sports. I love what I do, and I'm so lucky. But like you, Henri, everything we go through leads us to this point in our life where we can enjoy it and be happy. We just try to get better each day. I agree. And I'll tell you guys, there's a lot of things going on right now behind this broadcast stream that I just simply can't talk about. But this I'm in this journey right now of trying to understand who I am and where I belong in this world. And I know I belong here with you guys in comics. That's absolutely where it is. And I just really want to get to that next stage in my life so that I can look back on what I've accomplished and say, hey, I made some progress, and it's hard to do that without that North Star, which was Dak. Dak was my North Star for a very long time. I mean, he told me exactly what I needed to do in order to grow my business. And his advice was always on point. Every time he warned me of every single loophole he warned me about every single pothole that I could have gotten stuck in or every brick wall I could have hit. And he showed me the loopholes. He helped me figure it out. See, there I am mixing up my metaphors. Sorry about that. It's like, if I just, thought before I actually shot words out of my mouth, things would probably be a little bit better that way. Well, Adam, I will say this. When we go through a period of self-reflection, there comes a period when we realize that something isn't right within ourselves. And I have gone on this journey many times, especially once I got into comics. When I started doing conventions, I was an outlier. I mean, I wasn't doing things the conventional way. Leave that to Ted Sikora. All right, sorry. But it was tough because I stood in front of my table and I wasn't afraid to approach people and tell them about my comic. It was tough sometimes. I almost got kicked out of a couple conventions because my neighbors were convinced that I was trying to steal sales from them. I didn't have the experience or the reputation to really manage the situation like I do now. And I almost never have that problem anymore because I found my place on the convention floor. I belong where all the dealers are, or the small press publishers are. Those are the guys who are going to be out there constantly engaging people because they're there to sell. Whereas Artist Alley, I think people are there to sell as well, but it's a little bit of a different dynamic. When you're in an Artist Alley of a comic convention, artists could be doing commissions. And so they're sitting behind their tables, their heads down, and they're drawing because that's how they're earning their money. And other artists are having a difficult time talking to people. And this is the saddest thing about working in this field. Imagine being so incredibly talented like all of these creators are. And I kid you not, guys. Anytime you go to a convention and you see someone on a side of the table, that person has creativity in them. They have something in them that allows them to produce things. And no matter whether it's your thing or not, the fact that they were brave enough to showcase their work is a large step to a bigger circle. And laugh all you want. Some of these guys might be drawing stick figures or whatever, but their stick figures might one day end up being, something spectacular. Like look at South Park. South Park never had really good animation. It was purposely done that way. And, look how long it's lasted. So I never underestimate or doubt any other creators out there who are trying to achieve something. It's very hard. But imagine being that creative but having a fear of talking to people. That's a real thing. Sometimes I get anxiety. I get anxiety being here now. That's why I mix up my metaphors. That is my anxiety coming out. That's me just being honest with you guys. And it's a very hard thing to conquer, especially when you're feeling doubt from other people telling you that you're not doing things a fair way, or that you are being greedy, or that you are being aggressive, or angry or whatever. It's just it's a hard thing to manage all those emotions and to keep your cool. And I did it. I got through it because I'll tell you what, it's better than working on fucking Wall Street. Fuck Wall Street. I will never work on Wall Street ever again. Mark my words. You couldn't pay me enough money to go back into that field. It's just not what I'm designed to do. And for the people who are in that field who are successful, God bless you. If you found a way to make it work, make your money and spend it with me. That's what I have to say about that. I'm Jewish. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but I just wanted to let everybody know I'm Jewish. And I make comic books. All right, David Moore says, wait, you mix up metaphors down. And yeah, even the samurai sword thing, Mel, to go to you guys, that's just branding, like I don't walk around a convention with the sword out. I'd probably get thrown out of the convention hall, but it's part of reinforcing my presence and my brand at shows. And we all need to do that. And the one thing that I have to say I'm really blessed about is the fact that I have managed to inspire a number of creators out there who have taken to what I've done and made it work for them. Thank you very much, Curtis. Yes, my man. Thank you so much. All right, let's see where we're at so far. So we're at 9 people now. All right, guys, come on. I was expecting to be up at like 15 at this point. Impress me here. Do me a favor. Share this out to your friends. Share that link out for the Yisun Shin campaign here, and let's get up to 20. I'll be here until we get up to 20. I'm dropping the link one more time. Send it out to your friends. Let's get 20 notifications up here for this first night. Ashley received his comics. That's excellent. I'm so glad to hear that you received your comics, Ashley. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. And so yeah, you guys feel free to hit that notification button. All that's going to do is just notify you once we go on to Kickstarter. If you decide you ultimately don't want to back the book, that's totally fine. But if you go and hit that notification button, you'll at least know when we go live. And that's what the whole point of this evening's gathering is for. It's just to get some initial excitement going, some initial hype going for the campaign. And again, this is the advantage that we have going for this campaign, is that the books are done and are ready to go off to print. And we're basically financing the mass printing of Hunter and Destroyer 2 and the newest edition of Warrior and Defender 1. So it's actually going to be like 2 books that we're actually we're trying to fund here. So we decided to do this. And hang on just a second. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're trying to print up right now, or what we're trying to finance on Kickstarter. Just give me a second here. There we go. So you use my mixed up metaphors for water cooler talk. That's fantastic. I thought you used it to pick up women too, David Moore. So these are the 2 books that we are going to be financing on Kickstarter. And for the first time ever, we're going to be doing variant covers for both. So we got 2 different variant covers for Yisun Shin Warrior and Defender 1. The first exclusive variant, and this is only going to be available on Kickstarter. There's only going to be 100 of these made, period, and then we're done. That's it. The first cover is going to be done by War Lions and Yisun Shin's very own Dexter Wee, the new artist. So this will be his first image of Yisun Shin that he'll render for us as a cover. And I showed it to you guys yesterday, but I'll show it to you again now because I have it here. I have the pencils and inks for it, and you guys can get a really good clear look at it right now. Let me see where it is. There we go. And let's see if I can share that with you guys too. So those are the 2 books that we're trying to fund. And another thing I wanted to show you guys too getting to my greater point, because I have to interrupt myself to bring you this next breaking news story. So, Yisun Shin Hunter and Destroyer 2 is Dak's last issue on the book. It's the last issue that he managed to that we managed to do layouts for, and he wasn't around to finish overseeing the entire production process. But I remember he said to me before he passed away, this is 3 days before he died, he was in a hospital, and I knew he was there, and I knew he was suffering, but he was still working and doing things, not just for Yi, but for so much. And for those of you guys who don't know, Dak had a really big hand in She-Hulk. He worked on Savage She-Hulk from issues 2 through 25. So he had a lot on the horizon, and he was trying to get another book made. He signed a deal with the creators of Southern Nights, I believe it was, one of the other publishing outfits that he had put out there, and they're re-releasing some of their books through a different publisher, and so Dak was a part of that, and he had a lot going on, but he helped me through the layouts for all of Hunter and Destroyer 2. We talked about the story ad nauseum, and it made it much easier for me to write the final script because of the fact that we had such deep conversations about it. So if you guys will notice on this cover of Yisun Shin, and only this cover of Yisun Shin, Dak's credit is going to be placed above mine. And I did this intentionally because I wanted him to be remembered, and I want him to shine. And I wanted to be proud of this. And I don't think the series could ever be what it would have been had he been a part of it. It has been forced to become what I envision it solely now, again, which is how it originally started. So I now am on this journey of proving to my master and mentor that I have learned all the lessons he had to teach me, and that's what's made it really difficult. And it's been a really long emotional journey, physical journey, and all kinds of stuff. But here we are. Will there be a sumo butt crack David Moore variant? Yes, all of you guys, we can sponsor a cover like that. I got Dexter has to work. So if you guys want to see a special, silly variant or something like that, we can fund it on Kicking It. That's totally fine. But I wanted to show you the pencils for Dexter Wee's cover. That's the first thing I will. Let's see this. If we're at 10 notifications, then cool. All right, no, we're still at 9. We need to get to 10. If we get to 10 notifications, I'll check it out. I will show you guys the pencils, or sorry, the finished inks of Dexter Wee's Warrior and Defender #1 variant exclusive cover, limited to only 100 copies. Period. We're not going to reprint it. We're not going to do anything else with it. So if we can hit 10 notifications on this campaign, I will show you guys the art. If you were watching, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. You're the man, dude. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. Yeah, there's some really cool variants that we'll be releasing. Here's one I can show you now. Here's a little teaser one that I can do. So what do I do here? Why does it say stop screen? Okay. Stop screen. All right. So I'm going to share again. Technology. So what is it? What was that cover? Oh yeah, that was a Jin cover. Okay, hang on just a second, guys. Wait just a second. Hang on a second. I'm busy. Come on, ma! All right, there we go. All right, so this is the first cover that Dexter did for us, and this is going to be our Dragon Con exclusive cover. So this is for Hunter and Destroyer 2. This won't be available. Oh, sorry. Why did it do that? Oh, dang it. So this won't be available on the Kickstarter. It's going to be available through the convention only. I might have like a couple copies left after everything is done, and if so, I'll throw them up on Kickstarter so you guys have a chance to do it. But I'm also doing a really cool early bird special where if you jump on the first day and pledge $75, you get all of the variant covers that we're going to do plus the A covers. So you're going to get every single one, and I'll sign them all for you too, by the way. Any Finn Jones variants. Yeah, she does look sexy. And this was illustrated by Dexter Wee, who's now our new interior artist, and colored by Adriana De Los Santos. She's our resident colorist at Henri Compen Productions. Hang on, let's see where we're at. We're still at 9. Still at 9. Gosh, I'm teasing you guys. I've unbuckled my kimono, but you guys aren't. We got to get to 10 here. Everybody wants a David Mork and Finn Jones variant. Gosh. And you guys, feel free to message your friends too. Let's hit 10, and I'll show you that Eastern Shin cover variant. We're gonna do it. We're gonna hit that 10 10 people notification mark. And are these new books approved by the Comics Code? Stop it, Chris Steisko. No, absolutely not. Yeah, if you hit the notify button, say it in the chat. Thank you, Jordan. Jordan, you're awesome, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Am I allowed to do it? Thank you, Mel. You're awesome. Thank you. All right, let's see where we're at. Still at 9. All right. See, still people out there. This is being streamed on multiple channels right now, and we got a crowd of people here, which is great. I appreciate you guys being here with me. You're about to get a big dose of Henri. Yes, she's licking jelly from a donut. Yes, she is. Oh, something fell in the background. It's a candle. Mark be David be nimble, David be quick. David, jump over this candlestick. Try that at the water cooler. Sorry, what's this thing smell like anyway? It smells like pain. Oh, sappin. See, it says sappin on it. Okay, you guys probably can't see it because of the background I got here. How you doing, Victoria? You gonna notify us and get us to 10 people for the Eastern Shin crowdfunder? If we can hit 10 people right now, then I will show off some cool artwork for the new book. Thank you. I love you too. And it's just being notified about the launch does not mean that you have to does not mean that you actually have to support the campaign. It's just to let you know that, hey, the campaign is live. So if you guys just hit the share button the moment you're notified, even though you can't back the campaign, you're still helping my algorithm. You're still helping me reach that next person who is going to be into Eastern Shin and who is going to want to check this series out. So this is all helping tremendously. So all you got to do is just hit that notification button. That's it. You don't gotta put down any money on this right now. I know we can hit 20 people on here by the end of this broadcast. I'll stay on here for as long as I need to. It's totally cool. We got 11 followers finally. All right, we're at 11 followers. So I'm going to show you guys the Dexter Wee cover that he has inked. So it's inked, but it's not colored yet. And this is going to be the 1B cover for Warrior and Defender #1. And this is it right here. And this is the first rendering of Eastern Shin that Dexter has ever done. And it is amazing. He just went through so much effort to do the research. If you guys notice the Hangul over Eastern Shin's helmet, which I don't know if it's Hangul, because Hangul existed in this period, but it wasn't really used as much. Like, people who were at higher levels of education were actually speaking Chinese in Korea. And so Yi Sun-shin has his sword, actually, it was a gift to him from China, because they respected him so much in combat and what he managed to do. But I'm really proud of this cover, and it is yeetastic. Dak would absolutely love this cover. It is freaking commanding, and that's really what we always go for with this character. And a lot of people ask me, like, why Yi Sun-shin? Like, why would you want to make a book about a Korean admiral? And it's because this dude's like the first superhero in history. I mean, like, he saved Korea from invading forces. He was outnumbered 10-1, and he just led these incredible campaigns. He was part of the Associates and Covenant Associates. That's water cooler talk. That's water cooler talk. In fact, I think I need to have a show called Water Cooler Talk. Starring David Moore. So yeah, Yi Sun-shin his feats were real, and when I got into comics, you have to set yourself apart in this field. You can't just like say, okay, I want to work in comics. You have to make comics, and then you have to keep making comics, and then you got to find a way after you keep making comics to convince other people to pay you to make comics. And then you just keep going from there, and you build your career. And some people can get into comics and not necessarily work in as freelancers. Like, my career is, I've never worked for Marvel or DC. I may never work for Marvel or DC. I would love to. That would be a really incredible opportunity to contribute to such a large company. But it would have to be under the pretense that it was something I was ready to do. And to be honest with you, I'm enjoying working for myself so much more, even though it is difficult, even though sometimes I wonder if I'm going to have enough money to live off of. Even though I'm in a state where I sometimes feel shame over what I do, I fight all that because I love what I do, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Now I just got to get smart and figure out how to make it work better. And I look to guys like Brian Pulido and Russell Nolte, other creators who are out there, Ted Sikora, who are out there doing their thing and really producing those results on both Kickstarter and conventions, and finding that balance. Jen King, I look up to her too, more for ethical reasons as much as inspiration to just keep going, because I think ethics is a really important part of business growth. You never want to divide your audience. And so if you guys notice from watching my shows, I don't bring things up like politics or religion, or the three things you never talk about: politics, religion, and how much money you make. It's being respectful towards other people's opinions. And if you don't like what's being said, change the conversation. And the one thing that I think brings us all together is comics. There was a really great movie that I saw called Invictus. If you guys haven't seen it, it's fantastic. It's about how Nelson Mandela united the apartheid and the South Africanist people, and helped the nation recover from years of aggression, and he did this through sport, and because sports brings people together, right? It's like that one thing that we all can go and watch a sport and come together and enjoy that sport. And when you're in a country like South Africa and there's the World Cup, it's a really huge unifier. And it brought about a really great time for that nation. And regardless, it was an excellent show of leadership, and something that I believe is missing in our current political climate. is this sense of unification. So we need to look outside of that in order to find that. And that's why we come to comics. That's why we're here in this field. This is why you guys can come here, regardless of who you are and regardless of what you believe. Comics are for everyone. We invite everyone here, except for if you're an asshole. If you're an asshole, get the hell out of here. But, you know, that doesn't happen very often, you know. And it's a really wonderful place to be in, and it needs energy. It needs you know, excitement, because if we're not excited about this business, if we're not excited about the comics that are coming out, not just from ourselves but from everybody out there, the industry becomes irrelevant. And comics has always been on the verge of extinction, and it has been revived thanks to these Marvel movies and all the comic book movie successes out there. But that's starting to become synonymous with culture. Books are not in as they don't distribute the same way anymore. Like, people are still buying printed books, but they're mainly buying them through like Amazon or Walmart. You know, we used to have these things called bookstores, and they were all over the place. And, you know, many of them have closed. So, you know, it's becoming harder to access stuff in print, and people are kind of going and shifting, but people are always reading. People are always looking for enlightenment. This is why we come to comics. I think everyone who's in the room right now has in some way been, has learned a huge life lesson from reading a comic. And what's really great about Shin is that it serves to do the same thing. You know, that's really why I set out to tell this story. And then I realized no one was going to read it unless I put some titties on the cover. Am I right? We got to put that titties on that cover. All right, let's see where we're at. I should have brought the DJ siren with me. For shame. All right, we're at 14 followers, so we're doing good. We're 6 away now. Guys, God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's check the comments here. Yeah, Mel, I enjoyed that evening when we went out. And Max, he still talks about it. He really enjoyed meeting Mog and Mel, or Mog and you, and Anvu, and Kurt Zauer too. Kurt's awesome. Kurt's the man. Yeah, we had a really good time. You guys are always welcome back to Chicago anytime. I agree, Jordan. You know, I was having a conversation about what I'm responding to what you're saying here about. I would also like to say that it's all the indie men and women creators that comics are as good as they are too. I agree 100%. There's just some outstanding, incredible talent out there, and you know, they're doing. You got a lot of great storytellers who are coming to the table because they know how making it. Technology has done a lot of good things. Time has done a lot of good things for us. So, like, let's go back in time to when comics were distributed in way higher numbers than they are today. Like, we're talking like the golden age of comics, right? Where comics were selling by the millions. Why? Because the cost per unit was just so low that they could literally sell them for like 15 cents or a quarter, and they'd make like a massive profit on them, and they'd sell millions of these things. And the distribution was widespread because television wasn't really a big thing. So, you know, obviously comics were circulating at higher numbers. And as time went on, the circulation of comics went down. You know, it just naturally happened with, you know, technology becoming more available, and the method of distribution changed. So comics weren't selling millions of copies now. They were now selling hundreds of thousands of units. Now they're in the tens of thousands of units. And sometimes they can sell more. Like, I think there are some books that are just kind of get to that 500,000 mark. But none that really get to that point where they've like sold like, you know, 3 million copies of a book in a single month. It just, distribution doesn't work like that anymore due to inflation and so many other things. So comics have become a lot more difficult to access in general. Like, you either have to go to, and to get books like from SourcePoint, not necessarily Image, but definitely companies like Aftershock, you know, Scout, getting books from these publishers and comic shops can actually be kind of difficult. So a lot of these publishers are actually turning to the internet to distribute their stuff. But that's not even getting to my point. My point is that even though the circulation of comics has gone down and changed, I wouldn't say gone down. It's just transforming. It's changing with the times. I don't want to be negative. Comics are selling just fine. But it's transitioned to the point now where what used to be so difficult to do, publish your own comic, has now become incredibly easy. So the exact opposite has happened. And when I say it's easy, it's not that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's still difficult. I know a lot of creators out there who are publishers who just can't get their stuff published because they don't have the money to go to press with their stuff. You know, it's not that easy. Wendy, thank you for hitting that notification button. I appreciate you. And you know, they haven't had a chance to get out there to make their comics and distribute them like I can with Shin. And really, the only difference between them and me is access to resources. And I'm extremely fortunate that I've been able to build up my business this way. I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. If I didn't come from a background of means, I wouldn't be there. And that's just me being straight with you guys. But that took a lot of learning and a lot of risk taking and a lot of losses and a lot of, you know, points where I thought I wasn't going to be able to continue doing this. And that sense of shame comes in again, you know, but I overcome it by realizing that there are people who would kill to be in a position like me. And I owe it to everyone who can't do it to put myself out there and to go to Kickstarter and to, you know, and to keep this machine going and to do it on my own steam now, not to rely on anyone other than my own efforts. And that's something that I've been working towards for a long time. And it's not easy, you know, because I'm fortunate in the sense that there's a cushion for me. A lot of people out there are not. They don't have that access to resources. So they have to turn to, you know, Kickstarter, and even Kickstarter doesn't give them the opportunity to get their stuff out there the way that they want to, because again, they're not able to focus on this business at the capacity that is financially suitable enough to pursue this on a full-time basis. I want that to get easier as time goes on, because we're already seeing that it's easier, but you can still create comics, because now we do everything virtually. So as long as you have some money set aside, you can pay an artist and you can pay a colorist, you can pay a letterer, you can make comics that much easier, because the world has so much more access now. We have the internet, Zoom, we got this fish stick at you, and you know, all that stuff kind of makes it easier for us to create and to do and to collaborate. And that has made making comics easier. So we can actually create comics now, but actually printing them and distributing them, that is the challenge. And, you know, making money off of your investment requires a lot of sacrifice. And it's like basically you're talking about years of just operating at a loss and hoping that you have enough coming in that you can balance out at the end of the year and, you know, invest properly and keep it going. It's very, very hard work. It's very unforgiving. And I have seen a lot, and more people tend to fail at it than they do succeed. So it is absolutely a losing battle. This is why Kickstarter is so essential. And my biggest fear too, as a creator, is conventions are coming back, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm so happy that they're here. And I will always have a presence at conventions if they're holding it, and they'll have me there as a guest. But you know, after COVID, I kind of realized that I need a contingency, and Kickstarter is that contingency for me. It's something that it's time for me to use it as a platform to grow my business. Because before, when I used it, I had a lot of difficulty connecting with different creators and using the platform to spread awareness about my campaign. And so I was just in this little narrow pocket of everything. And I have to say, I think I've come a long way since, as a result of COVID, because that really forced me to come out of my shell and start networking. I had to start collaborating more with people, and that changed everything for me. So I'm really hoping that as I enter Kickstarter now, that I'm entering a new landscape with new experience that's going to really help me grow my business. So it is so essential for me to do that, because I really want to look back on my career and be able to smile and say, look, in spite of it all, I did it. Like, I got it done. But for me, getting it done isn't just simply completing the work. It's, I got it done, meaning I completed this book. I supported my family. I didn't just trust on the fact that I have resources and means. It's, hey, I did this because I believed in it so much, and I wanted it to do everything that I felt a career position should do. And that's my goal. That's what I'm aiming towards. And Kickstarter is the way for me to do that. As much as I love conventions, and like I said, I'll still be there. You're always going to see me at a convention. That is the tried and true. I know if I go to a convention, I'm going to make money. It's going to work out. But going to Kickstarter, that's really been the next jump for me in my career. And getting to this point is just so utterly essential. So let's see where we're at right now. We were at 14. Now we're at 15. So we got 5 people left, just 5 people left. Hey, Mog. He sold multiple copies of Luke McBain. That's a feat in and of itself. Yeah, Dirk has been amazing on Kickstarter. He is just sensational. He's awesome. And, I learned a lot from him too, just watching how he does everything. Dirk's a solid cat, and he has had a lot of success on Kickstarter. So, I'm really kind of trying to figure out, I've learned a lot from watching what other creators do. I've never quite been happy with my performance on Kickstarter, and I've always been really intimidated to use it to get multiple stuff sold. It's like you have to plan these things out accordingly, because I can't just go to Kickstarter every month for Yisun Shin unless I start doing like a bunch of crazy variants, which is probably what I'm going to end up having to do. But eventually, but even so, those micro campaigns can help move books, and the print runs will pay for themselves, and you guys will have some more cool exclusives. And I am interested in your feedback. I'm interested in things you'd like to see in order for us to kind of grow, because that's really what's going to allow me to take those next logical steps. If I hear that enough of you guys want to see a Yisun Shin video game, that's going to tell me that, hey, maybe I need to start talking to some people out there who are making video games and see if they'd be interested. There are a lot of independent video game makers out there right now. And one thing I kind of envisioned that I thought would be kind of cool would be to see a side-scroller beat-em-up made for Warline. That would be really cool. But as far as the Yisun Shin video game goes, I don't know how that would look in my head. I always kind of wanted to see it as, a turn-based role-playing game. But I think that's really an in-depth thing to do. And I know that there are some companies that have expressed interest in that in the past. And it's something I'm definitely open to, because they can just use the illustrations from our book to kind of like tell the story, and they can add stuff too. And, there's all kinds of stuff that we can contribute to the development of our Yisun Shin trilogy. But it's been kind of difficult working with Korea, mainly because of the distance and the language barriers. So initially when I was doing business in Korea, with my publisher out there, they gave me the sweetest deal. It was really great, and it really put me on the map in Korea. But I think that since that happened, my publisher dissipated. I'm pretty sure they don't even exist anymore, and I have no idea, because no one's no one's really communicating, and it might be a result of COVID. But also there's really nothing to talk about. They gave the book a nice, big, strong push, and they said, all right, we're exhausted from resources. Let's wait and see what happens. And the same thing that happened with Yisun Shin is what happens with everything that doesn't get pushed. It loses its traction and no one talks about it anymore. Which is why my efforts in the US have become so much more crucial, and why I've been hitting conventions as hard as I have, and why hitting 100 convention sellouts is so important. Because if Korea is not selling it, then I got to be selling it here in the US, and I got to make sure it is always selling out. I got to make sure it's always performing well. So that's how I keep my brand relevant. And, it's not that people are ignoring me or anything like that. It's just that this is how life is. You get your 15 minutes in the spotlight, and then that's it. You're out. It's now someone else's turn. That's reality. That's life. You can't be in the spotlight all the time, and you don't want to be in the spotlight all the time. It becomes a very invasive lifestyle. So it's important to have that balance, but to use your time in the spotlight effectively so that you're growing as a person and you're growing your brand. Yeah, I saw that post you tagged me in, Jordan. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll come out to those. I mean, Kyle Northrup's my producer, and he does a lot of those shows. So I'll talk to him about it, because I know that they might do some EXP stuff. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll head out there, go out and do my thing. All right, let's see. Let's see here. Where are we at? Yeah, I'm coming back to Dragon Con, Tom, with a Yisun Shin exclusive variant cover. So check this out. This is going to be the variant cover for Yisun Shin Hunter and Destroyer #2. That's issue 10 of Yisun Shin. And it's going to be available at Dragon Con. This is the cover right here. It's going to look just like this. It's issue 10 if you're like into the series. So this is the second part of the third arc of the trilogy. And we're going to have it dropped. There's going to be 100 copies of these. And we're going to be going to Kickstarter on August 15th. You can go and notify yourself for the launch right now. And that's going to be to fund the Yisun Shin Hunter and Destroyer 2 mass print, and as well as a new edition of the very first issue, Yisun Shin Warrior and Defender #1. So we did a lot of cool stuff to issue 1. I would kind of say it's kind of like what George Lucas did when he re-released Star Wars after 30 years. Was it after 30 years or after? Yeah, I think it was 30 years, right? At around like 1997 or 1998. It was, or 20 years. Sorry, it was a 20-year anniversary edition of Star Wars. They redubbed it. They added cinematographic scenes to kind of get ready for the prequels, and to really showcase the technology that was being developed at LucasArts. And what we decided to do was we added sound effects and other kinds of cool stuff, and revamped the script, punched up some of the lines and everything to make the reading experience better. And there's also going to be variant covers for this book too. And I'm going to show one of the variant covers that we'll be offering on this as soon as we hit 16 followers on our Kickstarter notification. So if you haven't yet, be sure to click on that link that I will be dropping here right now, and just hit that notification button. And once you hit that notification button, once we get to 20, let's see where we're at right now. We're at 16, so we need 4 more people to join, and I'm going to unveil one of the covers that will be available for sale once we go on Kickstarter. It's going to be fantastic. Let's see. Mel is messaging me. Awesome. Thank you, Mel. I got your message just now. Thank you so much, sir. You're the man. Appreciate you. So yeah, guys, we're at 16 followers, 4 left, and we hit 20, and I will reveal this cover. I am so happy this is happening right now. This is really just really fantastic. And I'll be doing a lot of live broadcasting with you guys over the next month. You guys are going to help me through a very difficult period in my life, and I'm going to need you. So this is going to be awesome and exciting. Difficult and exciting time in my life. I'm going to have to add some light in here. Hold on. It's getting kind of dark in this room. Here we go, my laddie. All right, hang on. I got my chain. I'm going to show you guys the Eastern Shin Hunter Destroyer 2 trailer. Be sure to hit that notify button on Kickstarter, okay? That's just to notify you of the launch. You do not need to back the campaign. All you got to do is hit notify you on launch. And if you decide not to back the campaign, totally cool. Don't worry about it. Just do me a favor. Share the campaign. Help me get this out there. Help me print these beautiful books. I'm going to show you a trailer for Eastern Shin Hunter and Destroyer 2 featuring Korean dubbing from a Jewish guy.
어떤 아버지도 그의 아들보다 오래 살 소이다. 나의 맹렬한 조국에 살해당했다. 살해당했다. 사무라이가 내 나라를 점령하겠다. 그들은 내 집을 보고했다. 그리고 이제 그들은 죽을 것이다. 나의 눈 알복수들 할 것이다. 나의 눈 그들의 피로 상과 강골 도로배도 것이다. 살고자 하면 죽을 것이요 죽고자 하면 살 것이니.
What's wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is we only got 16 followers still on the Kickstarter. You gotta hit that notification button. Come on! I'm Jewish! How'd you guys like my Korean? I actually learned the language. I can't speak fluently, and I know I effed up a ton of words in there. So like anybody who's Korean is gonna be like, what the hell did he say? But I didn't have time to like actually like have someone help me out with that. So I just did the best I could. I can read Hangul. And I did learn how to recite an entire speech in Korean, which I can actually send you guys the link to. And I gave the speech in Korea like every time I went to go speak somewhere. So hang on a second. Hang on a sec. Yeah, there we go. Hang on. This is me in my less flattering days. I'm going to show this right here for you guys. So this speech I did here, I memorized everything. I hired a Korean tutor to recite a speech that I had written when I went out to Korea, because I wasn't just going out there to promote Eastern Shin. I was going out there to talk to Korean people and to get them excited about what we were doing with the series. So I felt it was my obligation to at least learn their language. You know, that's the highest form of respect that you can show to someone. So I spent months learning Korean simply so that I could go to Korea and give the speech. And it was really amazing because I had launched another campaign as well while I was out there. I donated a portion of my royalty to combat suicide, which was a really big issue in Korea at the time. And there's nothing funny about it. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'll explain why I'm laughing in a moment. So the whole thing about suicide out there is a lot of people were committing suicide because of the fact that Korean culture is based on shame. So if you don't get into a certain college, you have failed in life and you deserve to die. If you lost your job, you have failed in life and you deserve to die. If you're not like meeting a certain expectation and your wife leaves you, you deserve to die. It's kind of like it was becoming a real serious issue in the country. And there was the suicide rate was just really incredibly high for very different reasons than they are in the United States. Like there were a lot of cultural differences here. But I saw a correlation here, and I was profoundly saddened by the fact that there was such a high suicide rate in Korea. And I thought to myself, how could Yisun Shin, what would Yisun Shin say to encourage people to, to keep going and to not give up? And, so what if you didn't get that job? And so what if your wife left you? Or so what if this happened? Or whatever the case is. So what if you didn't get a 99.9% on your math test? Who cares? Life goes on, you march on and you keep going on. And that's what it's really about. And it kind of didn't work. And this is why I'm going to laugh, because Yisun Shin's saying is those who seek death shall live and those who seek life shall die. So his own saying kind of like effed up that entire campaign. I was like, oh, God, like, it had a very different meaning, but people were connecting the two and they're like, what? Wait, what? And the thing was, it was, that's not what Yisun Shin would have said, but that's what Yisun Shin was most known for saying, was those who seek death shall live and those who seek life shall die, which is kind of a morbid thought. But the idea is like, fight as if you're going to die because our backs are up against the enemy and we have no choice but to keep going, so it's better to just charge on and be prepared to die than to be, to try and want to live and get killed anyway. It's better to fight for an extra day, so it's live to fight another day, really. If you want to modernize the saying and make it a little less brutal, but, in times of war, you needed to use that kind of verbiage in order to get stuff out there. There's also another line in Yisun Shin that we use called sucky sucky. I'll see it in Hunter Destroyer number 1. All right, we're at 17 followers, 3 people away. Jacob Vogel, what's up, man? I got your new graphic novel that I will swap out for you this weekend at C2E2. So bring your book by. I had sold you a bad copy, and I agreed to swap it up for another one for you because you're just such a splendid guy. You're a handsome dude. I don't even know what you look like, but you're a good guy. You come up to me and be like, "Hi, I'm Jacob." I'll be like, "Hey, Jacob, here's a book," and then I'll give you a receipt too. This is a receipt from North Shore Comics. All right, come on, guys. This is stuff. It's gonna be like watching paint dry here. 3 more effing people to hit the notification button. Don't be a pendejo. Just hit that notification button. It does not mean you need to actually back the Yisun Shin campaign. All it means is that when the campaign goes live, you will be notified. And I just want to hit 20 tonight. My goal is going to be to hit 100 before we get to the launch day. You're talking, man. I'm talking, man. Where's Victoria? I'm talking, man. All right, hang on a second. Let's see. I'm going to check again where we're at. We're at 18 now. 18 now, so 2 more people. Oh, you're talking, meaning you're messaging people. That's excellent. Thank you, Victoria. So we got 2 more people left, and I will unveil the very first variant cover for, well, I showed you, the first variant cover for, the second variant cover for Hunter and Destroyer 2. I already showed the Dragon Con variant, which is only going to be available to people who go to Dragon Con. If I'm left with any copies left after the show, which I do not expect, they're going to sell out and that'll be it. Then they're not going to be up there. If there's a real serious demand for that particular cover, then I'll add it on as a tier at a later point. But it'll have a different marking and it'll be like a different, it'll have something different about it. Like I might change the background or something like that. I want to be fair to people when I say that I'm doing something limited to 100, that it stays that way. That's just the integrity aspect of everything. I know it. I know you are. I know you are, Victoria. You always got my back. You are fantastic. All right, let's see. We're at 18 now. Let's see where we're at now. We're still at 18, so we need 2 more people. And I know I could get 2 people if I just message 2 of my friends, so it's not like it's the end of the world. But the reason why I want to do it here is because I'm setting goals and I'm trying to make it happen here. So I need your guys' help to help me get there. That didn't even make sense. Yeah, I need your help to get me there. So we just need 2 more people, and then we are good. After that, I will show you guys the next cover, and then we will end this broadcast. So let's see where we're at. It's almost over. I swear it's almost over. And in the meantime, here, you guys should watch this Oscar Isaac interview that I did.
Oh, Brace! Oh, Brace! They called me in the comments. I was a Brace, and they brought me on TV. Oh, Brace! I wasn't even a movie. Buy more comics!
There, you guys should just buy more comics in general, but but yeah, that was my interview with Oscar Isaac. That's how you guys know I made it in life. Yes, I could do a second print with a different color for the logo. I can do something like that. Yeah, for sure. Why not? And Mog, I gotta hang your art up on in the warehouse still. I just haven't had a chance to actually like sit down and do it yet. But I'm gonna swap out the inks that you gave me for the colors, and I'm gonna move that inked portrait into my office. And if you guys are on good behavior, maybe I'll show you guys the Mog Park variant that I had her put together. It's a very different type of cover, but I can give you guys a chance to see that at some point later on. Mog, let's set them up for it. Let's do it when we have you on for like a show or whatever. Let's do that. I want to show everybody, because I think now that the Kickstarter campaign is going, if we talk about it and we see, like, between you and me, if we are going to be at a similar convention or something like that, and we decide we want to kind of like try something, I'm totally cool to collaborate with you on that. So here's what I'm going to have. That's a great question, Jacob. So at the convention, I'm going to have issues 1 through 9 available. Lycan Solomon's Odyssey, that's a new book that I edited. Mark's A Tale of Neglect, and the hardcovers are going to be there. So all of my publishing works are going to be there. I'm also going to have another table because C2E2, they gave me a corner booth. So on the other corner, I'm going to just splay it all out with posters. I was going to bring out a bunch of long boxes just so I could bring in those collectors and things like that. But I kind of want to focus more on Yu Shin right now. It's really important to me with the Kickstarter going. So, and Yu Shin got hit really hard at the last C2E2. I think that was the lowest amount of books of Yu Shin that I had ever sold at that show. And the lowest amount of books, no, not at that show. But it was the lowest amount of books I sold of Yu Shin at a convention in a long time. Like, I'm used to selling like about anywhere from, like, I'm bringing about 1,000 books here. It's a little under 1,000. It's like 960 books. Well, you round up because you're Jewish. That's what you do. You round up, okay? we got those books. And of course, this is a hometown show. So if it really were to come down to it and I was having a really incredible show, believe me, I can go back home and get more books. But I decided to bring out, use the other table to display out prints. And I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think like I have about like 9 or 10 prints available for sale right now. It's just like backlog stuff that I've had. And all of those prints are going to go for like just $10 this weekend. So I'm hoping to kind of like blow through that stuff and just keep my focus on Shin and what I'm doing as a small press publisher. So that's really my focus for C2E2, because that is what's my tried and true. That's always how I've made my money, and I know I'll be successful doing it. Even if I don't achieve the goal that I set out to do, I know I will be successful because I'm not going to let a single second of that show go to waste. My focus is going to be on connecting with my new readers, connecting with you, and making sure that our rapport continues. So and to build new fans of the series. That's the most important thing for me right now. So I'm really excited about this show, and let's see where we're at now with followers. 19. One more person. That's it. Just one more person. Come on. Super focus. That's right. Laser track focus. And I'll tell you what, guys, since we're at 19 followers right now, I'm going to quickly air the trailer for Warlion. Check this out.
Meow, 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 meow. Warlion coming soon. Where to meet coming soon.
That's my new book. It's going to be really good. One more person, come on! Let's do this already! All right, where are we at? 20 followers! Yes, we did it! You guys rock. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We did it in an hour and 27 minutes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We have hit 20 followers on the Shin Kickstarter page. The book is going to be launched on August 15th. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this cover ready for you guys, and it's hiding from me. It's an elusive cover, and it is a very elusive cover. So I'm now going to tell you guys the picture, but or tell you the deal with the art. Let me just find the file. Let me just focus and find the file. All right, mailer promo. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so I have the cover here, and there's a lot to this cover, and here it is. So here's the story with this cover. This is our first cosplay cover. I hired Annie Mia, who's a very, very popular cosplayer. She has like over 1 million followers. I reached out to her and I asked her if she would do a variant cover for us. And she had told me that her husband had actually purchased Shin before. So she was familiar with the series already. And I explained to her the significance of this cover. So if you guys have noticed, a lot of the variant covers feature Jin, our lead female character in the story. And, you know, she's our sexy Asian chick that basically is, you know, a total badass in our book. So this character was developed by Dak and myself. Like, I would say Jin was Dak's pet project. Because the one thing he said when he first came on Shin, he was like, "Where's the women? It's a sausage fest in here." There was no female characters in Shin. There was no love interest. There was nothing. So we created Jin. and we gave her a story, and we gave her a really fucked up story, and we really took this character in so many different directions, so many dark directions. I mean, it just keeps getting darker and darker, and you don't know whether to like her, whether to hate her. She plays a major role in sabotaging Yisun Shin at one point, and he's, and just so much stuff happens, but there's a reason why she is like this, and it is all because of Baron So. And in this issue, she is going to confront her own demons, and this is a pivotal issue for this character, and her growth in the series. And I'm really excited about it. It is going to be a really bloody and tragic issue. I can tell you that. There are some seriously traumatizing moments coming in Hunter and Destroyer 2. So it's one of those books that we're leading up to the end of the series, and to have a very this beautiful woman, agree to do this variant cover for us was just such a tremendous honor. I have a lot of respect for Annie Mia, and I'm trying to see if I can get her to come on for like a broadcast or something, but don't say too much. But yeah, she's fantastic, and I'm gonna reach out to her and see if she'd be willing to come on for a broadcast to talk about the cover. And she did a lot of work on this, by the way, and I really think it would be more interesting to hear it from her, because we had a lot of she was keeping me apprised to everything that was going on with this. And so I'd love to have her come on and explain her process and talk about what went into the development of this cover here. But this is going to be our first cosplay cover. This is one of the new covers for Hunter and Destroyer 2, and it's going to be great. Oh, Tom, you're saying don't say too much to spoil the Yisun Shin story. Yes, don't worry, I won't. I promise. Just reminding you guys. And if you haven't yet, you can go buy the books at C2E2 this weekend and get familiarized. But very soon I'm going to have, I'm working on a couple things right now, which is why I'm going to have to end this broadcast in a moment. I'm looking to hit 100 notifications by the time we hit that launch button. And I want to give some folks at C2E2 an incentive to do it. So we have these awesome bookmarks that have been out of print for like 3 years that I'm going to be giving away for free at C2E2 if you simply hit that notification button on the campaign. So be sure to do that, and let's see where we're at before we close out. It would be really great if we were at 21. We're at 21. Yes, excellent. Well, thank you guys so much. All right, guys, I really got to get to work here because there's so much stuff that must be done. So I'm going to have to end this broadcast, but you guys are going to get a lot from me. Yes. Yeah, I'll throw one for you. Jordan, I got you. You're here. You were here for the launch. Anybody who wants that bookmark who shops with me, let me know. And Jordan, that's a good thing. I'm going to go and ship out your stuff tomorrow, and I'll hook you up. Yeah, I got you, Jacob. I got you. All right, guys. Tom, I will see you in a couple weeks over at Dragon Con. And everyone, thank you so much. Mike, thank you. Mel, thank you. Adam, thank you. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Bless your hearts. Take care.